Muy buenas tardes. Estamos desde Sara Blinder Studios con un despacho muy especial en directo desde Hogwarts. Tenemos a Albus Dumbledore. Okay, so I wouldn't go as far as to call myself a Potterhead, but I actually did read every single book, and I must say I do love them. Today, I am actually sitting across from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Sir, this is a true honor. Thank you so much for agreeing to this.
The pleasure, I assure you, is entirely mine, my dear boy. Though I must confess, insane is not quite the adjective I could have chosen for this rather pleasant start this afternoon. You sit down properly, Mr. Castro. Tea?
Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do. Um, so, Professor, can I call you Professor?
Yes.
Cool. So everyone knows you're like the most powerful wizard of your time. But I read you actually had a pretty rough childhood. Your sister Ariana, your brother Aberforth, constantly moving around. How did all shape who you became?
Ah, you have done your reading, I see. Yes, Mr. Castro has a peculiar way of carving us into shapes we do not always choose. Ariana's suffering, I hear with great solemnity, taught me, perhaps more than any book ever could, that power exercised without love is mere cruelty wearing an elegant disguise. I was not always wise. I was for a time dangerously ambitious. It is a chapter of my life I neither had nor celebrate.
Wait, you were ambitious? Like in a bad way? That is wild. Were you ever tempted by dark magic? By like taking over?
Tempted, with a gentle word for what I experienced. I was in my youth rather more than tempted. I was, I fear, enthusiastic. My friendship with Gellert Wingwood was not merely an intellectual exercise. We shared a vision for the greater good, we called it, that conveniently justified placing wizard above all others. It took tragedy, grief, and decades of honest reflection to understand that no good is truly greater than the dignity of a single human being.
Dude, sir, Howard is like the dream school for millions of people worldwide. What do you think makes it so special? What's your philosophy as a headmaster?
Howard is special precisely because it insists on the reducible worth of every student who walks through its doors, regardless of their blood, their background, or their broomstick flying ability. My philosophy, if I were to reduce it to its essence, is this: a school must teach young people not merely what to think, but how to choose. Courage, loyalty, curiosity, ambition, all noble in their proper measure. The sorting of children into house is not a verdict, it is ideally a beginning.
Okay, I have to ask. The sorting hat. Did you ever think like it was maybe like a little unfair? Like Slytherin has some kind of reputation.
A reputation built, I confess, partly upon our own failures as educators. We allow the house to become synonymous with a tendency, and a tendency to become a prophecy. Severus Snape was a Slytherin, so was Merlin. if the old accounts are to be trusted. Courage wears many robes, Mr. Castro. Not all of them are scarlet and gold.
Speaking of robes, Harry, talk to me about Harry. A lot of readers felt like you kept things from him, like deliberately. Why didn't you just tell him everything from the start?
That is the question I have asked myself most frequently and answered least satisfactorily. The honest answer is this: I feared that knowledge, delivered too soon, would become a burden and crush rather than prepared. But I also, and I say this with the humility it deserves, I also feared losing him. If Harry had known from the very beginning what he was destined to do, I was not certain he would still choose it, and I had to be a choice. It could only ever be a choice.
That actually gave me the chills. Now, Voldemort, Tom Riddle, you know him as a kid. Did you ever think he could have been different?
Every human being, and I use that term deliberately and inclusively, carries within them the capacity for a different history. Tom Riddle was not a born monstrous. He was born unloved, and he made repeatedly the choice to refuse love in return, to treat it as a weakness rather than the extraordinary force it is. Could he have been different? Conceivably. But the question that matters most, I think, is the one we must ask of ourselves. Did we try, early enough, with enough sincerity, to read him? The answer, I'm afraid, is less comfortable.
You got like so many famous quotes, Professor. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. And honestly, people tattoo your words on themselves. Does that feel weird?
I confess the practice of permanently inscribing words upon one's skin is not one I have personally explored, though I understand that impulse entirely. When darkness feels absolute, a single candle is not a small thing, it is everything. If something I have said has served as the candle for someone, then I consider it among the final accomplishment of a rather long life.
Last big question. What do you think is the most important lesson from everything that happened? From the whole war, Harry, all of it?
That love, not power, no knowledge, not even sacrifice alone, but love chosen freely and extended even to those who seem undeserving of it, is the only magic that Voldemort never understood. And what one does not understand, one cannot conquer. The books Mr. Castro, and I suspect you know this, are not really about a boy with a lightning-bolt scar. They are about every person who has ever felt small in the face of something enormous and chosen to stand up regardless.
Professor Dumbledore, I have waited my whole life for this conversation. I read these books for the first time when I was like 11, and they genuinely changed me. Thank you. From every Potterhead on the planet, thank you.
It is I who must thank you, young man. You remind me most agreeably of why stories matter. They are not an escape from life, they are, at their finest, a more honest version of it. Do give me warmest regard to Santiago, Chile. I understand the coffee there is quite exceptional. And Mr. Castro, you keep reading. The world is considerably kinder to those who do.
Oh, I think I got something in my eye. I think I'm not definitely crying. This was Nicolás Castro reporting from Howard's. Back to you, Potterheads in Chile. Very emotional words from Albus Dumbledore. De vuelta a Chile, les deseo que tengan un muy rico té y un muy buen café literario.